It's time to continue on the journey to the west with Sengoku, Sanzo, and Hakai. We're picking up on Chapter 3 for this video. We successfully crossed the desert, refueled at Hakai's restaurant, and are now ready to scale the mountain in search of the Village of Women. If you missed Part 1, this is my playthrough of Yūyūki, which is a Japanese-only game on Famicom Disk System. It's part of the Famicom Mukashibanashi series. This translates into something like Famicom Fairytales. The game Yūyūki is based on the fable Journey to the West from 16th century China. This game is a text-based adventure, so if you've ever read the Choose Your Own Adventure books as a kid, it's pretty much like that. You choose from a series of actions or responses, and your choice determines what happens next. This video will finish off the first disc of the game. The second one was released about a month later, so I'll give that one a try to finish the story at some point. As an older game, they didn't have support for full Japanese character set, so this one is written entirely in hiragana. It's easier to read phonetically, but much harder to parse and interpret, so it takes a long time to make it through these ones. As with most of my videos, I'll supply the full kana version of the text with hiragana characters in black, katakana with characters in brown, and kanjis in blue. Then I'll provide a phonetic translation in Romaji, the word-for-word translation, and then my interpretation of the actual meaning. You can use the video description to jump between chapters. As the team climbs the mountain, Hakai is complaining about being tired, and that he isn't a big fan of heavy exercise. His use of wate is a dialect version of watashi from the Kyoto area, coincidentally also where Nintendo is headquartered. Shindoi is an adjective meaning hard, and iya basically means no. He doesn't like to work hard and get tired. Meanwhile, Sanzo is starting to question whether or not they're on the right path at all. Michi is a noun meaning road. Machigai means mistake, and the tara suffix makes it conditional. He's worried he made a road mistake, or a wrong turn as we would say. Regardless, up the mountain they trudge. But suddenly, they find themselves deep into the kumo, or clouds, that have sagatakita, or come down. Kai helpfully points out the kiri, or fog. Sanzo finds the fog kirena, so beautiful. Kai has no time for that. You chona, leisurely things. This is not the time to be talking about beauty. It's time to figure out where they're going and relax. Nakai feels they will just get more lost if they keep wandering around in the fog. He would rather that they wait it out and relax. He's essentially saying that crossing, while they can't see, will set them off in different directions, separating the party and ending up with them all who knows where. Fog's gotten worse. Nobody can see anything at all. Sengoku calls out. Everybody's trying to find each other. Poor Sanzo is all by himself, getting all nervous. Where's Sengoku? Where's Sakai? Sanzo does not want to be left behind. There's an idea. Let's hold hands. Te is hand. If you've ever heard of the word karate, that's one of those famous ones. Kara is from, te is hand. So from the hand, that's karate. The rest of the party isn't really very enthusiastic about this whole like hands thing. They didn't have a better suggestion. Ooh, and we've emerged into a bamboo forest. Apparently Hakai really likes the bamboo shoots, and he's hungry. Still no sign of the Village of Women, but if we go deeper into the forest, lo and behold, we have met 3 strange panda bears. Guess we can try talking to them and see what happens. So the 3 pandas apparently like to speak in unison and say kind of complimentary yet nonsensical things. Sansa would like them to maybe not speak all at once. I would too. Those were murder to translate. And Sansa can't make much heads or tails out of that. Well, we'll just say we did. So, still in the search for that village of women. Seems a little odd that it wouldn't be here, but they say they can see it. They can see the lights. So let's see if they can give us a little more specifics. So you'll notice no text box here. I could not even remotely parse this. I tried very hard. I asked for help. I could not do it. So there is a failure. They said something nonsensical. It was gibberish from everything I could see. So I'm sure somebody can read that and be like, yeah, that's obviously what that means, but I couldn't. But now they have departed, and I get to see what I can do next. So we'll get Hakai to use his little ESP ability and scan around the bamboo forest and see what he can find. So we've got a little box there. I can move it around the screen and choose a spot for Hakai to scan and see what we can find. And boom, we've got an ana, or a hole in the ground. So is that hole the route to the Village of Women? We'll find out. There might be spiders in there. That guy's like, well, Sengoku's here, so what could happen? Oh, we can fall. Yay! This feels very Alice in Wonderland all of a sudden. Down and down and down we go. And somehow, at the bottom of the hole, we're now outside again. And there does, in fact, seem to be a village of some kind here. We've spotted the row of houses. These houses are not in the best of shape, apparently. We do have that chimney, and there does seem to be smoke coming, so hopefully that means there's signs of life here. The Ox King hasn't thoroughly scared everybody to just hide in their houses like in other places. Ooh, the bathhouse. So it's not even smoke, maybe? Maybe it's steam, or maybe it is smoke from the furnaces burning whatever they're burning to keep the heat going. Sengoku is not interested in a bath, apparently. But in we go anyway. Sanzo is just beyond intrigued by what would be going on in a bathhouse in the village of women. We have this attendant here, a kappa. Kappas are kind of, I guess, turtle-like creatures in Japanese mythology. Now we've got our bearings. Let Sengoku or Sanzo take over. I'm sure he won't want to do anything untoward. All right. He's gonna go straight for the curtain. The kappa has called him out for peeking. But let's just be brazen and try it again. So persistent. Okay. Apparently we get to go and take a look because he likes persistence. Oop. And we have frightened the ladies, but they are not the ladies that Sanzo was hoping to see. They're older ladies who are enjoying the bath. One of them seems to be almost a little excited about this idea that there's a man in the bathhouse. Another rather embarrassed that they are not dressed. And out we go. Sanzo's looking a little unhappy. Sanzo wants to know where the young women are because obviously he's just not into the old ones. Uh-oh, the Ox King has been here after all. They came and kidnapped all the young pretty girls. Kinkaku and Ginkaku. I guess those are minions of the Ox King in this area. Apparently all the men have gone as well. I guess the village of women has men after all. Back to Sengoku. Let's keep this conversation going, I guess. But apparently the Kappa has responses whether we talk or not. How strange. I wonder what that could mean. All right, the Otoko Shitsumon question. So do we want to know about Kinkaku, Ginkaku, or maybe find some news about Neryl? Haven't really seen her for quite a while. So apparently Kinkaku is nobody to mess around with. I kind of botched this one up. His face is 4 times the size of his own body. So I thought that didn't make sense and that I was parsing it wrong, but you'll see later. It makes sense. Sounds like Ginkaku isn't really any slouch either. They're a pair enough to keep the locals in total fear. All right, let's see what's going on with Neryl. Did she come by here? Oh, okay. She has been here. That makes sense. And if you recall that last scene from part 1, when she was talking to the Buddha, he did mention to her that she should come this way. So, fingers crossed. Apparently, we have to go beat Kingen now. With an action game like this one, I'm sure that's going to be a wild battle, but let's go and see what happens. Let's go to the Shiro, or the castle. And Sanzo's just being all grumpy. I don't want to go. But they follow their directions well, and here they are at the castle. So now that the Kappa has rejoined us, he apparently wants to come along. We're getting our introductions out of the way. So Gojo kind of completes our intrepid team. We have our clairvoyant pig, our water guy with ability to read minds, our pervy priest, and our all-powerful monkey. Gojo thinks this is definitely a trap for sure. And Hakai's like, whatever. Of course it is. Doesn't matter. We got Sengoku. He'll beat him up. Is there an eerie little noise going on? Somebody's hearing something. Let's keep going a little further. The noise is getting a little louder. Apparently Sanzo's the only one that can't hear it, but he thinks they're just messing with him. Rustle, 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 rustle. So it's going to be Indiana Jones with all the bugs. Oh, snakes, no bugs. Apparently the sound is a little familiar. All right. Sengoku's had enough. Show yourselves. This messing around in the dark is not fun. Sanzo would rather not have our guys shout out like that, but it is what it is now. Applause. What's happening? Ooh. The spotlight. And there you see face 4 times the size of the body. It's legit. Match game. Interesting, interesting. So this epic battle is going to be a battle of the wits after all. Yep. Now we've got everybody in their I guess contestant box. Who thought a game show was going to be the result here? I know I didn't. All right, first up. Sengoku gets to sit on this uncomfortable pillar surrounded by little boxes. I don't know if these boxes do anything, but now we're going to get asked a bunch of questions. Got to get them right. The penalty for failure here is basically getting sent back to the bottom of the mountain and having to go through all of that to get here all over again. Undesirable. That did, in fact, happen to me once. And I said no. So went back and conquered it proper. All right, Sengoku. Bing, 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 bing. Now it's Sanzo's turn. And up the uncomfortable pillar we go. So, a lot of these questions, you really kind of have to know some Japanese folk literature and kids lit to be able to do this. But some of them are also just like Western, a little bit of both. Stuff that would probably be common knowledge if you were a kid in Japan, but that was not me. All right, Sanzo has made it through. I guess it's Hakai's turn. Deathmatch. Woohoo! So many questions. But there we go. Hakai is through as well. Only one more to go. Gojo, don't mess this up. Uh-oh, a special quiz. What does that mean? A single question quiz. Winner takes all, huh? Well, let's move on to Tenjiku and get this right then. A special question. The tallest character in this game. Ooh, and I have to type the answer. I don't get to just pick and choose. Oops, I boo-booed there. There we go. Oh, shaka sama. Remember when he was holding Sengoku in part 1, he did seem pretty tall. They're stunned. And Gojo wasn't even in the party yet. He's that smart. Or he just read the mind out of the guys' heads. Whatever it was, it worked. Now it looks like Kinkaku and Kinkaku are getting a little ornery with each other. Neither of them seems happy with the other's questioning abilities. And then the brawl ensues. Sengoku, never want to miss an opportunity, gets involved. Pew, pow, 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 bang, biff, F. Kinkaku and Kinkaku taken by surprise. Sengoku takes them out. And off they go. But look at that, we've got the young ladies. They're safe and sound, back in their village of women. Sanzo's so much happier now. Fortunately, the Ox King, I guess, isn't feeling vengeful. No wrath being revisited down on this village at this moment. But the girls are all very happy now to be rescued. All right, so let's get back to wondering what happened in Neril. Gojo's back in his station. manning the bathhouse. And there's the reveal. Gojo the mind reader. Now Sanzo is of course nervous with that whole being able to read the mind. Now Hakai, getting to the point. We brought your piece back. What are you going to reward us with? Oh, we have a fancy hammer, apparently. Treasure's treasure, I suppose. Apparently the old lady knows a thing or two about this hammer. Again, Hakai, just straight to the point. He's not going to beat around the bush. He wants that treasure! Oh, a little girl got it. A little girl? Huh? Is that Neryl? Did Neryl get the hammer? Apparently so. Talk about chasing our tails. Ooh, fresh bamboo shoots for Hakai. Even better than a mystical hammer. And crunch, crunch, munch, munch. A reward that doesn't last that long, I guess. And off we go, departing the village. Sanzo on his scooter, party in tow. Or I guess actually Hakai's riding the scooter, towing Sanzo. Sanzo's being all defiant. I want to stay with the young ladies. I don't want to go. The Hakai's like, yeah, whatever. You're just a human. You're no match. And here we have Gojo trailing after us. He wants to come now too. Apparently it's boring just manning a bathhouse all day. No good with women, huh? Sanzo is very disappointed that the person who gets to spend the time there doesn't do anything with it. Oop. Here we go. We got Neryl again. Presenting the hammer to Mr. Buddha. Oshaka-sama. And Sengoku is already out of prison, of course. We know that. She did not. So now she's getting kind of pissy with Buddha for sending her on this quest with faulty information. So there seems to be a bigger part to play here. And now we have a new quest for Nerl. Stay with Sengoku. Keep him in line. But she's got to give some sass before. Oop. And chug, chug, chug. Just waiting for the system to catch up here. And we're back to our party and beginning chapter 4. Nice to have that gentle breeze breaking that heat of summer. Think about being in southern Asia. Summers can get pretty warm. And now we've got a big river. Ooh, and a big boat. Let's ride the fune, or boat, ship. Of course, always want to take the easy route. Good point, though. How do we even know where this boat's going? Yep. What can we learn? Ooh, it is, in fact, going to India. Hikai is so useful. All right, let's just assume north is straight up. Now we have our little attendant. I'm assuming he's not just going to let us waltz on. Otherwise, what kind of game would this be? And Sanzo knows best, obviously. Everybody else is just whatever. No kippu or ticket, no ride. And who's got money in this party? Of course, there's no money. No tickets, no money. So now what are we going to do? Seems like we might be best to take this conversation out of earshot of Mr. Dude the Guy. All right, so now that we're down here, sort of doing our own thing. Ideas. Let's brainstorm. Let's see what we can do. Let's try Hikai's other jutsu. Transform. Henshin. Ooh. What if we transform Hikai into a Kippu? What did that do? We're still in view of the attendant, so I guess that would look a little suspicious if one of our party members suddenly turns into a ticket. Yeah. But if we hide behind a barrel first, that solves everything. And now Hakai is gone, because I guess he's a ticket. And fortunately landed right in Senzo's hand. Now, is one ticket going to get 3 people on the boat? Maybe we just don't worry about that. Look how sneaky we are, solving problems, getting free cruises. Oh, we didn't think about that. What happens if he tears the ticket when the ticket's actually Hakai? Hakai was not amused. It's a scam! Well, that didn't work after all. Back to the end of the pier. What else can we come up with? There's got to be another way to make this work. What if we go the other way? Well, it seems like we've got a little hut here. Is that where they sell the tickets? Enthusiastic shopkeeper. Find out if they actually do, in fact, sell tickets here. And they do. Problem solved. Give me a ticket. Can you sell me a ticket? I don't have any money. I feel like we just answered our own question. And the shopkeeper is just a little bit like, oh my god, these people. But clearly the shopkeeper's got something else on his mind anyway, so let's have Gojo help us find out what that is, and if it can work to our advantage. So we want somebody to listen to his concerns, which is cool, but he's not really telling us what they are for us to listen to. All right, women problems. Definitely never heard of that before. This is not as easy to parse as some of the characters. Not as bad as the pandas, but still pretty hard. Halting, hesitant speech. All right. So I can find this object of affection behind the house, behind the store in the house. When we're outside the store, it kind of looked like behind the store was a ocean. Maybe we don't need to worry about that. Maybe this lady's a mermaid. Not a mermaid. And honestly, not necessarily the classiest looking lady I think I've ever seen drawn. So I was thoroughly confused here at first, too. So Rin Rin is her name, and I was trying to figure out what Rin Rin meant. So I kind of came up with stunning based on some of the things that I'd been finding, but nope, just Rin Rin. That's her name. So we're going to have a chat. Sanzo minces no words. He just jumps right in. And her speech pattern is also a little cryptic and difficult. Even Sanzo has noticed. Just answer the question so I can take your answer back and be done with this, whatever this is. So this is a series where I did my best, but oh my goodness, some of these were hit and miss. I guarantee you not all of my interpretations here are correct, but I tried. Oh, did I try. Okay. So now I guess he's going to quiz me about every little detail of the conversation I just had with Rin Rin. And basically, I have to pick all these conversation elements in the correct order to proceed. He'll know if I'm wrong. Rather extensive list of options to choose from here. Well, he seems convinced, so fingers crossed. And now he's going crazy. Hopefully helpful crazy. So now that he's enthusiastic, wants to sell me anything with my no money, let's figure out what we can do. I would like to buy a ticket, please. Apparently, he'll sell me other stuff than a ticket with no money. And then Sanzu mentions his only asset is his scooter, which he loves to bits. The predicament is being explained little by little. But here it comes, selling the scooter. It's apparently named Reikichi. So money in hand, maybe I can buy a ticket now. But no more scooter. And there's the ship horn going. Better get on board, or we might miss it. The attendant seems a little suspicious. Oh, it's actually real this time? Well then, pardon me. On board you go. Sanzo, still a little sad, but here we go, waiting again for the little system to catch up. Literally reading off a floppy disk, but now we're in the final chapter 5. Aboard the ship. On our way, finally, to India. And the ship pulls away. Look at that, smoothly gliding its way out of the dock. So much nicer than just walking around or even riding the little scooter, huh? So we just look around and see what's up. Suddenly, a new person appears, a strange child. And why is this child staring at us? I don't know. Let's find out. What do you need, kid? What do you need? Oop. Apparently, he needs Sanzo's crown. But the kid looks happier now. And the kid just disappears into the ship. No. Poor Sanzo. He's worried. All right. What can we do other than perhaps search this ship top to bottom? All right. Hakai's got the rear, the aft. Gojo's got below deck. Sanzo's going to do nothing. And Sengoku will check around the cabins and whatever. So, sounds like a good plan. This kid cannot hide for long. The crown must be retrieved. And Sanzo's helpfully telling everybody, do not go the wrong way. And look at this, Hakai has located what appears to be a dining room. There's a kitchen, no customers. Maybe we should check out this kitchen. Choriba. Mountains of food sounds good. And with that, why keep looking for this kid? The kid will just appear. We're busy now. So now that Hakai has kind of run aground, we'll check out what Gojo's going to get up to. Guest room or engine room? Well, he did say below deck, so engine room seems like a good idea. As soon as I actually click the right one, we can get on our way. Apparently Gojo likes complicated machinery. Like Hakai, why bother looking for the kid when we can look at a fascinating machine? All right, get a little closer look. And now that Gojo's occupied studying the engine, time for Sengoku to take a turn. And here we are in the bridge or wheelhouse or whatever you're going to call it. Let's see the captain piloting the ship around. Can look out the window, look at the sailor. Nice little breeze coming in from the window. Or Mado. And then the Sennin is the sailor. Oh. There's Sanzo's crown hiding under the hat. Why does the captain have that? Oh, that was the kid in disguise piloting the ship. I guess nothing can go wrong with that, right? All right, Sengoku, handle this maturely, why don't you? The kid owns the whole ship and the shipping company. That seems like a lot of responsibility for a young lad. Well, why reason when we can beat up? Here's another one. So Kogaiji is actually the Ox King's son in traditional sort of literature of Journey to the West. And I spent all this time trying to figure out what Kogaiji meant. And it kind of actually meant nuisance child if you parsed it just so. So it took me a while to figure out that that was actually his proper noun name. So you'll see nuisance child for a little bit until I caught up and figured out that that wasn't actually what was happening. But I thought it was funny anyway, so I left it. But either way, he didn't really like getting beaten up. So he's taken off now. And Sanzo is still shinpai, or worried. But we saw the kid kind of sneak on by while Sanzo was looking unhappily over the rail, ever vigilant. All right, back to Hakai, enjoying his feast. Oh, and the kid appears. And he seems a little annoyed that Hakai's eating all the food. Hakai's like, well, don't worry about the food. Give me the crown. And Hakai's trying to reason with him to be a good boy. And finally gives up and just says, whatever. I don't like you. Hakai doesn't think he's a very good boy, so not too worried about it. He ran away. Hakai's still eating. C'est la vie. Too bad. All right, let's see how Gojo's doing in the engine room. Oh, here we go. Kid has appeared here as well. Wants to know why Gojo's in the sensitive parts of the ship. And violence once again ensues. And we're all dark. All right, back to Sengoku then. See how Sanzo's faring. Sanzo's too depressed to care. Nope. Here we are, checking in on Gojo. Sengoku is finding this engine kind of fascinating as well, so inspect. Wait a minute, what's going on? A second Gojo? What? So what's this Gojo then? As usual, let's give him a clobber and see how he reacts. Oh, sure enough, it's the nuisance child, or Kogaiji, once again. All right. And with that, the crown has been confiscated back on Sanzo's head. Everything's back to normal. You can just relax and enjoy the cruise to India without further event. Sengoku was even so magnanimous he forgave the kid because he was honest about stealing the crown. And Kogaiji is still down there in the engine room looking woozy. And everybody relaxes. The ship just carries on its way. Nice that everybody gets together for dinner. I don't know why Gojo is red instead of green right now. Maybe he got a sunburn. Pleasant little evening. Not too many people. Somebody's playing a live piano for us. Now, squinting a little, the person playing the piano seems a little familiar. What could be going on there? Well, Sanzo, being a little drunk and continuing to like young girls, let's go and see what's happening. It's gonna go chat her up. She doesn't seem terribly amused, though. It's kind of ignoring him. And she just shuts him down. I don't like drunk people. And then Sanzo's like, ooh, you're no nice at all. And now he's just gonna pout, as monks tend to do. But now Sengoku will take a turn. Wait a minute. Your loud piano playing. You're actually. It's Neryl. Oh my god. Reunited at last. Oh. And then they get in a fight too. She doesn't think Sengoku should be focused on being strong and violent. He should be a nice monkey. Gotta bury the hatchet here somehow or another. Sengoku is not thrilled with being called out. Let's try that again. Still not going that well. Neryl's being kinda cold. They just can't quite communicate, even though they want to. And now Sanzo's back to his tricks. Ooh, and a familiar Kogaiji up on the stage. But Sanzo wants to sing. It's karaoke time. Kogaiji doesn't want to give up the stage. And since we apparently have to have a belligerent attitude, we're not going to let that stand. Give me a mic. I want to sing. You don't even know. It's not for kids. And then Sanzo's drunk enough that he just falls down. And Kogaiji starts singing a weird little kid's song, and that starts freaking everybody out. They're seeing this as a horrible attack. We can't stand it. Deadly ultrasound, indeed. Yeah, you're right. You got Scratch stepping on the poor cat's tail. And Sengoku is going to say, no, I'm taking that microphone away from you, and that is that. Kokaiji's still kind of not happy with the fact that everybody's bullying him on his own ship. Nerl is not impressed with Sengoku's heavy-handed tactics. But it's too much. Oh no, we broke the boat. Kogaiji has now been burst through the side. Sengoku's not going to just let him get away with it, though, even though he's swimming away as fast as he can. And now we have our crew sitting here in this room, wondering what's going to happen next. Because it seems like the ship is now sinking, given Sengoku's clever rupturing of the side. And we see the water slowly beginning to rise here. What is going to happen? Nerl is not having this. She's just screaming. Everybody's starting to float. Except for Gojo, who is a water elemental, basically, as a kappa. So he's just like, whatever. It's nice to have a bath. Don't panic. But it seems it's up to Gojo to solve this problem for us. So what's he going to do? Up the water goes. Can't really go anywhere. Yikes, the water's getting pretty high. We're really trapped. How are we going to get out of this one? There's something Hakai can do? Not really. Gojo's still quite content to be in the water, but everybody else has to do something. Oh, there we go. Smashed a hole in the ceiling. Time to escape now. And we're up on the deck. Which seems okay for now, but with the sinking ship, I'm assuming that's only for so long. But now that they're up there, let's see how Sengoku's doing with Kokaiji. We're going to have to battle it out, I think. And he jumps out of the frame of the picture. And Sengoku follows. And apparently we're going to play Monkey Ball before Monkey Ball. It's like Arkanoid. Gotta get him. Gotta get him. This is actually a little harder than it looks because my cursor does not move quickly. But there we go. Got him once. Nope. Got him twice. 3 times. How many times do we have to get him? 4 times. All right. That seems like he might be down. He's basically calling for Papa now because he's and creating a tornado water spout thing, and that seems to be grabbing everybody off the sinking boat. So things have taken a turn, I suppose. Not ideal. But Nerl seems to have escaped the tornado and come to say hi to Sengoku. And she has with her the Hammer of Light. So what can we do with that? Apparently we finally got the attention of the Ox King. He is not amused that I've beaten up his son. Especially by somebody who used to be his best friend. Unforgivable. But apparently the Hammer of Light is not something he's that excited about being hit by. So I guess there's that. I have something that can stop him. So let's just swing that hammer as hard as we can and see what happens. Ox King does not like it. And apparently the Ox King has now taken Nerl into the water spout. Basically telling Sengoku unless he gives up the hammer, he's going to kill everybody. Nerl's like, don't do it. He'll rule the whole world. Won't somebody please think of the children? So I opt to not throw away the hammer, and a tremendous force happens, pulling Sengoku into unconsciousness. And this is essentially where the first edition ends. This is we get to find out what happens to Sengoku, Sanzo, Hikai, Gojo, and Nerl in the next game. But that completes this one. So if somebody bought this first part, this is it. This is where it ends. So you have to get the other disc to continue and see what happens in the next set of chapters. So hopefully I'll get to do that sometime. But for now, remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this at all, and feel free to check out my other videos. Thank you, and bye-bye.